It's a day late. Happy birthday.
Thanks.
18th birthday. Wow. Let me get a zoom in on that. Now, what is this here? Oh, yeah, I'm zooming in right now. That is the new Roman missal, Father Lassance missal, pre 1955 traditional Latin Mass missal. The Missal of Missals. Look at that. I wanted to look into it, but since it was wrapped, I didn't touch it. Since it should be, you should open it up first. And that has the pre 1955 Holy Week liturgies in that one, the way it used to be, until they changed it all. Now, like Taylor Marshall said about that missal, you don't want to let rain hit the gilding, because that's the only con that he had about the missal, was the gilding wasn't that good, as far as like if water hits it messes with it. See how nice and gold and shiny it is? You don't want to get that wet. But he said the rest of the missal, I mean, it's solid. Beautiful illustration. It's fully loaded with every single reading in there, where you don't have to go back and forth to find the readings. The show will be like in there for you, both the Latin side and the English translation. It has like something like 6 ribbons, so you can split up your missal. There's videos that he explains how you use your missal and split it up. Where you put the one ribbon where the that daily masses readings are, and another ribbon where the actual mass parts are. There's different sections of that missal. Let's see some of that inside there. I can't see, it's not open. Oh yeah, look at that. That's beautiful. Beautiful illustrations. Look at that. Ad Orientem. Facing the east, facing God. All the same direction with the people. So that'll be for life right there. I might want to write something in it. And as long as you can find a way to get to a traditional Latin Mass, you always be able to use that missal. So hopefully the Pope doesn't do any more restrictions, or the new Pope lists of restrictions that he put on us. We always have St. Pius X Society. We're blessed to have one in Richfield, Ohio, there, and in Akron. Those will never go away. Any comments?
Thanks.
So hopefully, eventually I could get all you guys one of those missals. Wow.
2,000 pages.
Yeah, because it's got all the readings and stuff. Well, like other missals, they'll shortcut, like, well, they'll like kind of like, they'll have you going back and forth all over the place to try to find the readings and stuff. This is supposed to be set up in a way it's like a nice flows all the way through.
1852.
Yeah.
Some notes in the back.
Yeah, there's supposed to be notes. There's supposed to be like something for each of the days for this each saint.
You had a couple blank pages you could write in the beginning if you wanted.
Yeah. So you've been going to this Latin Mass for a couple years, so any comments about that? There's a lot of people that come out there with a lot of negative comments as to why we shouldn't be going, which is nonsense, but
my focus is very much more centered there. I feel like I'm more lifted, or like I'm in like a separate place, like how it's supposed to be, like you're leaving the world and going to attend mass. Like you want to get away from the world, but actually it feels like you are.
But isn't it a distraction to have it in a language you can't even understand, as everybody always keeps saying?
You got a book, it's like...
Yeah, you got a nice one right there to really, if you want to know what's being said, it's right there, translated.
Read music by looking at the notes.
True.
And just attend the mass and go book.
You know, the other thing I just heard someone try to say, well, it was good they changed the mass so the people could participate more, and it's like as if like somehow going to Latin mass you don't participate and the priest just does everything for us, and you know that's not true because
I
we
mean,
participate in many
There's
ways.
a lot of things that were just the way. I mean, and what was I gonna say? I mean, even if it is the big difference, the lots of differences, you know, you can still attend it, even if somehow you still can't follow anything. It's still a mass, and the Northern Soda will have, like, still has some of those things that, or still has the little things that it does that the Latin mass will still have, like, that can keep you somewhat in track. I mean, you'll know when he's like the forget the word when the host changes into Jesus and all that.
Oh, the consecration.
Yeah, consecration. Or I was thinking of the one other word.
Well, now you can see all the parts of the mass because it's all broken down in there. You'll see like the parts that aren't. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's unfortunately not that's been removed from the new mass, like the offertorial prayers, where they actually have a special set of prayers to actually bless the bread and the wine before it's even consecrated, and it's like blessed so that it's because prior to that to doing that blessing, it's kind of considered like mundane. It's like it's just earthly, but we want to set it aside for use of God. So they put a special blessing over it, offertory prayers, so that it could be used worthily for the consecration. There's a lot of stuff, but we'll probably do another video in the future about the differences and stuff. But now you have this missal for life, so you got to take care of it. Again, you don't want to like let it like if you're in the rain, you want to cover it. Because I think that's the only one of the very only cons that Taylor Marshall was talking about. Yeah, look at that. He was talking about the gilding. If it gets wet, it just kind of like it'll wear off. That's the gilding. That's that gold on the edges. But that's a very well put together missal. It's got good binding, so it should last for a long time. The outside cover is made of like it's not leather. It's more like of it's a waterproof material. It's probably some form of plastic or something, but it'll last. It won't fall apart. So in 10 years you could show me it. In 20 years, if I'm still here. So my goal is everybody eventually will have their own Father Lassance missal. Yeah. Cool. Well, happy birthday.
Thanks.
Ming.